Before we dig deeper into Sugar's story, subscribe now. If you're already invested, hit that like button. This episode goes deeper. The stakes are higher, and the choices made here can't be undone. If you're ready for betrayal, danger, and consequences, let's begin. Before my father pulled the trigger, he made sure I understood one thing. This wasn't about love. It wasn't about betrayal. It was about ownership. And I had just made the most expensive mistake of my life, choosing myself. He swears revenge. Not on my husband. On me. I hear it in the echoes of empty halls, in footsteps pacing marble floors, in the tone of every call I receive clipped, controlled, dangerous. Blood for blood, he vows. Those words don't just hang in the air. They tattoo themselves into my mind. Every syllable a threat. Every threat a contract I never agreed to sign. And yet, my husband smiles. A slow, confident curve of lips that says, I expected this. Not fear. Not hesitation. Expectation. Like he has rehearsed my father's wrath 1,000 times. And already knows how it will feel to watch it burn through corridors we no longer inhabit. I start to wonder, did I escape one cage only to walk into claws? Did I trade chains? I understood. For a battlefield I cannot yet see? The streets hum with tension. News clippings flutter past, headlines shouting my defiance. Poker-faced men light cigars, exhaling smoke that tastes like warning. Even the wind seems complicit, carrying my name from alley to alley, as if the city itself is passing judgment. I move through it quietly, observing, listening, calculating. Every familiar path now feels layered with danger. Every shadow could hide eyes, knives, or whispers. Every reflection shows a woman balanced between terror and resolve, between history and the future she dares to write. And through it all, he stands beside me. Tall, implacable, hands steady, eyes unwavering. When he whispers, it isn't about strategy or retaliation. He simply says, my wife is beautiful. Simple words, ordinary words. But in this world, they are extraordinary. A reminder that even in chaos, there can be a tether to something real. Something chosen. I realized then that survival isn't just about fleeing, hiding, or resisting. It's about owning your story, while the world tries to rewrite it for you. It's about stepping into danger fully aware that every heartbeat could be the last one dictated by anyone but yourself. I traded certainty for chaos. And if I am to survive this, I must become someone capable of walking through both. Because the Empire wants to claim me. My father wants to break me. And yet, for the first time, I feel alive. Not safe. Not secure. But awake. Chaos can be a teacher. And I am ready to learn. His world is colder. Cleaner. No shouting. No threats whispered in hallways. Just strategy. Silence loaded with intent. Every decision measured. Every move anticipated. I sleep in silk sheets that feel like spiderwebs. Smooth, delicate, deceptive. Soft enough to cradle me. Sharp enough to remind me that comfort is never free. He teaches me power without violence. Influence without fear. How to command a room without raising my voice. How to negotiate when everyone believes they hold the advantage. How to disappear into the world unnoticed. Even when I am the most dangerous piece on the board, I learned the language of contracts, the cadence of boardrooms, the subtle art of persuasion, how to turn information into leverage, how to wait, how to strike without striking. Slowly, almost without realizing it, I begin to see the Empire through new eyes. His eyes. We become partners, maybe. Or pawns. It's hard to tell which, sometimes. Boardrooms stretch endlessly polished wood, cold steel, glass that reflects power back at itself. Windows overlook a city pulsing like a heartbeat beneath us. Elevators glide silently between floors, briefcases coated with secrets never spoken aloud. Decisions are made on paper, long before they touch reality. I learned that power can be seductive. That control can feel intoxicating. That influence, wielded quietly, can bend worlds without breaking them. And yet, every lesson carries a warning. He sees a queen. My father sees a traitor. At night, when the city glows like fire trapped under frost, I trace the skyline with my eyes. Every light is a window. Every shadow, a story. Every step a choice between survival and surrender. Sometimes, I catch his gaze across the table, a glance heavy with understanding, a touch light enough to remind me, I am not just strategy, not just leverage, not just a move. And yet, always, he tests me, challenges me, pushes me to grow faster than fear allows. And I realize, resilience isn't about enduring fire. It's about learning to thrive in ice. It's about bending without breaking, moving without warning, keeping your heart intact. When the world wants it as collateral, I am learning to be dangerous. Not with violence, not with fury, but with precision, with calculation, with the quiet certainty that comes from understanding the rules and knowing exactly when to break them. The attacks begin quietly, not with sirens, not with shouting, with subtlety, with precision. An envelope arrives. Inside our wedding photo, burned edges, corners curled like warning signs. The paper smells faintly of smoke and intent. Every time I see it, I feel the weight of what I dared to choose. If your chest just tightened, tap the like button. You're feeling this story for a reason. Then the bullets come. Glass shatters by the pool one night. Not random, not reckless, precise, calculated. Firing patterns meticulous, almost surgical. Metallic shards scatter across marble tiles, each one a whisper of danger. Too close to ignore. I don't scream. Shock freezes fear into clarity. If you'd stay instead of run, comment, I'm still here. My husband moves like a shadow through the dark. Efficient, effortless. His arms cradle me, like I might break or vanish before his eyes. Within minutes, we're gone. New house, new walls, new streets that don't exist on maps. Safer. But safer is a lie. You can't hide from someone who built the shadows. Someone who learned fear as a language. Someone who has been constructing traps for decades and knows every way a person might slip. We plan. Maps spread across tables. Pins mark threats, exits, contingencies. Armored SUVs wait outside, engines muted but alive. Rooftops hold silent sentinels, sniper silhouettes carved against the night. Every movement calculated, every breath measured. Even silence carries intention. I watch, learn, adapt. Gunshots echo through empty streets. Metallic reverbs linger like ghosts. Alarms punctuate the night with mechanical panic. This is no longer about weddings or rebellion. It is survival. It is war. And war isn't loud at first. It whispers, softly, into your sleep, into your trust. It drifts like smoke through corridors, invisible, until it burns. I hold my husband's hand. He is calm, steady, a predator disguised as a partner. And I am learning to move with him, not behind him, not protected by him, but with him, an equal in anticipation, an equal in strategy, an equal in danger. If you want to see how this war ends, subscribe now. You won't want to miss the next move. The city sleeps. We do not. Every shadow could be an enemy. Every step could be the last unobserved move. Still, I move forward. War has begun. And for the first time, I understand what resilience demands. Not just strength, but awareness, cunning, the courage to face the storm head on. I stand before my father. His face is stone, cold, unyielding, a monument carved from expectation and wrath. Mine is shattered glass, fear, defiance, certainty. Reflecting back at him, I don't flinch. I cannot. You were supposed to save the Empire, he growls. His voice echoes like a verdict already passed. I was supposed to survive it, I whisper. My voice cracks, but it carries years he could never own. Of lessons learned in silence. Of resilience forged where no one came to comfort me. Of choices I refused to surrender. He reaches for a gun. Sharp, predictable, like every threat I grew up memorizing. Before he can raise it, my husband steps in front of me. Calm, unflinching. Everything my father despises. Everything my enemies fear. My father scoffs. 3 idiots. The suitors. The pawns. The men he sent to control me. But the greatest fool was him. I am not property. Not a pawn. Not a mistake to be erased. I move. Slowly. Deliberately. Every step a declaration. The gun stays in his hand. But the power it once held no longer belongs to him. Silence stretches. Then, a click. The safety disengages. Time slows. I lift my chin. Not for approval. Not for mercy. For me, I say. I choose me. The words hang in the air like a banner over a battlefield. And everything shifts. The room. The Empire. Even my understanding of fear. I am no longer the girl who fled. I am the woman who survived. A deal is placed before me. Walk away. No contact. No inheritance. No revenge. Just my life. I stare at the papers. Generations press down on my shoulders. Legacy, blood, expectation, all slipping through my fingers like sand. And I choose exile over empire, love over legacy. I slip the ring from my finger. Cold metal. Final. We leave before sunrise. The city is empty, holding its breath. Taillights fade into darkness, a quiet rebellion marking our path. The horizon breaks, gold bleeding into violet. I don't know if this is a beginning or a burial, but I know this. I'm done being currency, done being a pawn, done being someone else's plan. I breathe in the morning air. Sharp, crisp, freedom laced with fear, and it tastes like victory.